Hey, what is good, everyone? My name is Clarence. I'm one half of the FBA Bros, and today we got a very special video just for you. It is mainly to go through the creation of your first Amazon FBA shipment. I know you're excited, and sometimes this topic can be shrouded in mystery. So my job here is to bring you through, basically make it as easy as possible, break down all the acronyms that you will face so that you can be confident that you're doing the right thing into sending your products to Amazon FBA. So without further ado, let's begin, right? So we have been selling on Amazon for close to 5 years already, and we have made about close to actually 7 figures on Amazon by the grace of God, and we are still growing and we are still learning. So we're just going to share with you what we have learned so far on Amazon FBA shipping. And watch to the end because we have a very neat surprise for you right at the end of the video. Keep going. Okay, so now that we are back on the screen share on the desktop, right? So this is our Seller Central. But before we go into shipping, right, I think we need to break it down on a very basic level on how you will be able to ship your products to Amazon and how the overall workflow looks like. So we have this very simple slide prepared for you. Alright, so now that we are on your Amazon shipping process, right? So this is generally how the Amazon FBA shipping workflow will look like for most of us. If you're doing Amazon private label, this is probably what you're going to encounter. Okay, so now that you have done your manufacturing, you're about to create your first Amazon FBA shipment. So this is generally the process in China. Then you move on to getting your freight forwarder service to ship it from China all the way to the USA. Sometimes you can ship it directly to Amazon's fulfillment center, or most of the time you may need to rely on a third-party logistics service for them to store, for them to drip feed into Amazon FBA. Okay, and after Amazon has received your product, they will take about 21 days to ship your products to all over the network of fulfillment centers in the US itself. So your products get more and more available as time goes by, as they get checked in into all over the USA. Alright, so this is generally how it looks like. So in terms of shipping, most of us will probably be creating your Amazon FBA shipment at the end of your manufacturing run. If this is your first shipment, I highly recommend you start creating this right here, sending the products from your manufacturer's factory all the way to Amazon directly. The use of 3PL will be for probably the second shipment onwards. These are more for the future outlook, the more advanced sellers. Okay, this will give you a greater robustness in your supply chain. Alright, so let's head back to our Amazon Seller Central and let's go through, right? How do you start creating your FBA shipment? Let's go over to inventory, click on manage all inventory. And by the way, I'm on my public case study account, right? The demo account that we have currently for all of you guys to follow through. Alright, so this is our product. So we want to do a replenishment, like for example, this replenishment right here. So the very first step is head over to this drop down box, alright, and click on this item called send/replenish inventory. This is what you want to click, and it leads you to this send to Amazon workflow. Okay, just make sure that you got the correct SKU or ASIN has been prepared. So what you want to do is, first thing first, get your ship from address. So for me, my ship from address will most likely be from China. So this is the China address. So I need to select this. So get your supplier's address and key it right here, right? So there is a stark difference right now. If your ship from address is from outside of the USA, Amazon will not close your shipment within the 90 days time frame. Basically, you have 90 days to send your shipment into Amazon, all right? And this gives you a lot more time to get your shipment done. But if you put a ship from address from a US address, basically it's in a US state, you only have 30 days to get your shipment into Amazon before they will close your shipment, right? So just take note of these different nuances that you want to take note of. So for me, if I'm sending products from China into Amazon US directly, I will use a China address, basically your supplier's address. So get it from them. Now the next thing that you want to know, right, is by default you will only have individual units or create new packing template. So if you're doing private label, I highly advise you to create a new packing template. So basically, what is a new packing template? It's basically telling Amazon that this is the size of my shipping carton. So like for example, I can just put tamago yaki carton 1. All right, let's just name something. This is a random name, right? Anyway, that you can just use. So over here, the template type will put case pack, the units per box. So I know I have 24 individual egg pen in one carton, and you need to make sure that you get your box dimension right. So I'm just gonna put in a arbitrary number, right? Let's say 15 inch by 15 inch by 20 inch. And of course, the box weight is roughly about, let's put it at 38 pounds, all right? So take note, the box weight cannot exceed 50 pounds, all right? There is a certain limit. Anyway, if you go above the Amazon limit, they will let you know with an error message that will appear, okay? So let's put A, right? Because I think I have carton 1 already. So let's click save and see if there's any error message that appears. So there we go. This is Tamago Yaki carton A. Alright, so sometimes you may see an error message that appears in yellow right here, which doesn't, in a way that Amazon will tell you that your units and your box dimension doesn't make sense, because the dimension that you key in your listing, they just know, right? There's an estimation that, hey, it doesn't make sense. Your units cannot squeeze into your carton dimension here. So make sure you key in the right box dimension, number 1. And number 2, you key in the right per unit packaging dimension in the listing itself. Alright, there's a place where you can edit your packaging dimension as well. So Amazon take that as a reference and give an estimation of how much your box size should be, and including the weight as well. So you cannot go beyond that tolerance level. Okay, so anyway, now they have created this packing template. Amazon knows there's 24 units in each packing template. I can tell Amazon, okay, how many boxes do I then want to send over to Amazon? So let's say you have 50 boxes, all right? So which also means it's 1,200 units, all right? So this is something that we can send over to Amazon. So over here, you can see that Amazon is recommending us to send 500 units because of the past 30 days of sales volume, all right? So this is something that I recommend, but I don't usually follow this. I follow my own calculation, and I want to make sure that I have always 100 days of inventory in Amazon to prevent me from running out of stock. Okay, so the next question I keep getting asked is, oh, I'm very afraid, right, this step, because I'm not sure if I'm doing this right. I do not want to make any mistake. All right, so the word advice is don't worry, right? Even if you make a mistake, you can always delete this shipment and start anew, right? Basically, just click void this workflow and restart the whole process again until you get it right. So you don't have to get it right the first time round, all right? Don't worry. Okay, so over here, I think there's also more input, right? You can add more packing line. So this is something more advanced. If you have different SKU or different configuration of cartons, this is what you would do. But usually, I will not want to do 2 different cartons, right? Just to make my life simple. So I will just remove this packing line. All right, so now you're ready. Let's click ready to send. Okay, I'm happy that it's $0. Let's confirm, because all the prepping and the labeling fee is done by us, or technically we ask our supplier to do it for us. Okay, so let this load right now so that Amazon can give us the next step. Okay, and now we are over on this step number 2 now, which is to confirm shipping. So the first thing that you need to understand is there is a lot of new buttons that appears right now pre-2023 versus now, right? They have added this new thing called the inbound placement fee. Unfortunately, this is what we have to deal with now, all right? So the first thing first, I always recommend that you use your Amazon partnered carrier, right? If you have a partnered carrier by Amazon, this will be the best. Unfortunately, especially if you're using overseas shipment, most of us would probably be using non-partnered carrier. Okay, if you move away from this, we can click confirm. Basically, you're paying a outsider, or it's not, or should I say, a freight forwarder that doesn't have a working relationship with Amazon, right? So you just need to click on this non-partnered carrier. Most of us will probably use non-partnered carrier to carry on. Next thing, the shipping date, right? This will be the same for all the shipments. So the shipping date could just be an arbitrary number. You don't have to be so accurate, right? It can be just accurate to the week itself. So if I were to click on 13th Monday, that means I can even ship the product out from my supplier's warehouse on the 15th or on the 17th. It doesn't matter. Amazon just want to have a rough feel of when will the shipment start. Okay, so maybe I just click 13 for some for this purpose. Next thing, inbound placement fee. This is something new that Amazon has introduced. So according to many testings, is that and out of feedback from so many different variation, the best configuration that we have found is the 3 shipment and the west kind of inbound region. This will give you a $240 additional fee to get this in. However, right, you don't have to worry too much because the shipment fee is all in the western zone of the USA, which also means it will reduce your shipment fee. Okay, so this is the recommended way. You can in fact play around with it if you feel that, hey, if I do 1 shipment and I want to do west, I don't mind paying an extra $250 just to send to one individual FBA location, then go for it. It's fine as well. Okay, but for most of us, we'll probably be, especially when dealing with a bulk order and with high volumes of inventory, we always like to recommend using this. Okay, but at the end of the day, do your own comparison. That is still the most accurate quotation that you can get to make sure that you get the best value in your shipping. Now the next item, SPD versus pallet delivery, right? Or previously it was called LTL, right? And thank God Amazon changed this to pallet delivery. Now it's a lot simpler. Okay, so most of us will probably send in SPD unless you're dealing with a large quantity like anything above 1,000 and you have pallets to send in, then this is something that you will click, right? Just click accordingly. So for this purpose, I will use SPD in individual cartons themselves. Next thing, select a shipping carrier. So these are all the carrier that is available. So if you are not sure yet, you can click others. If not, you can get the carrier name from your freight forwarder, right? So in this case, I will just click others. How will it transported? I will click ocean. This is ocean shipping. Next thing, the delivery window for these 3 items here is just a estimation for when Amazon can expect your shipment. So usually, if you put, let's say this is the date 13th of May that you started, I would probably put about 45 days later, 45 to 60 days within that region for when the shipment can reach Amazon. So let's just do a very quick calculation, right? So 13 to 13th of June is about 30 days. So get about 2 more weeks later. So which is about 28th of June. So all of them will expect to reach Amazon's warehouse or fulfillment center by 28th of June. And with this, the delivery window is pretty good. They give you some allowance here and there because they understand that's how logistics works. Okay, so now that you're done with this, all right, ready to continue, the shipping label after that, they'll take a moment to ask us to check, right? So let me see, why can't I click on this accept charges? Is there something I'm missing? Oh yeah, there we go, ocean. Okay. All right, cool. So just take note, anything or any charges that Amazon charges that gives you right here, it will not be charged immediately out from your seller account, right? Amazon gives you about at least a 7 days leeway to confirm all of the shipment before they finalize the charges. So in this example, I can gladly click accept charges because I know Amazon will not charge me unless I do not do anything beyond 7 days. Okay, so technically after I created this, I can delete this workflow as many times as I like. Alright, so let Amazon generate the shipping labels, and this is what you need to pass to your supplier. Okay, and there we go. Now this step number 3, print box labels. Okay, so these are the labels that you need to send to your supplier or whoever has your goods for them to paste on every individual cartons. When I say cartons, it means the shipping carton itself. Okay, so most of the time I like to use thermal printing, but then again, always ask your supplier what do they like to have it, depending on what kind of printing services that they have. Most of them should have thermal printer by now. All right, so if I click on one of these, I print. Maybe let's click all of them, right? So it will give me 3 different PDF documents to download. Okay, pop-up block. Here's the last one. There we go. Okay, so now this is very clear. We have 3 different shipments going to 3 different addresses. Alright, these are the 3 different addresses, and they have the different kind of quantity, how many boxes are there. So there's 19 boxes, 14 and 17 boxes respectively. So if you were to look up, this is the first one, basically this guy, the 19 boxes. I just want to check, right? I have 19 different labels, and it makes sense. This one label will go to each of the cartons individually. Alright, so just do a very quick check. It's 14 and then the 17. So it makes sense. So send these individual PDFs over to your supplier so that they can paste all those labels accordingly on the physical cartons. Then hand it over to your freight forwarder, and they can handle the rest of the shipment for you accordingly right here. So your freight forwarder, after your manufacturer pays all the so after all your manufacturer pays the labels, pass it to freight forwarder, they will help you to do your local trucking, clear the local customs, do sea shipping, reach the US, clear the US ports and customs, then destination trucking all the way into Amazon fulfillment centers 1, 2, 3 directly for you. So that's the part of the freight forwarder. Alright, so this is a very simple process. We really streamline it down for you so that you can crush it on Amazon. And after you're done with that, click proceed to enter tracking details. Alright, so once you click on this, your next job is to get the tracking information from your freight forwarder. You just need to enter the tracking ID for all the cartons that is being shipped out to Amazon. Here's shipment 1, shipment 2, and shipment 3. It's a very simple copy and paste item right here. And this is for FBA Shipment. Alright, and as a very quick demonstration, if you made a mistake somewhere and you want to restart, how do you do that? You click on this part here, delete shipment and charges. And this is how you can redo the whole shipment creation again. Okay, so just take note, right? What your supplier need is the FBA ID. Alright, so after a while, this is not the ID that your supplier needs or your freight forwarder need. They will be looking for a FBA ID, right? So let me show you where can you get the FBA ID itself. I will go back to manage shipment. I will restart everything, right? Over here, do you see this reference ID? So your shipment ID is available immediately, but for your freight forwarder to make appointment with Amazon's fulfillment center, they need this reference ID, which is currently NA. So give Amazon a few minutes or sometimes up to 1 hour, a reference ID will be populated like this. So your freight forwarder will use this appointment number to schedule an appointment with this particular fulfillment centers. If not, they will be stuck. So you need to provide the reference ID to your freight forwarder, and it's different for every single shipment. Alright, and with that, that is pretty much all you need to know about sending products to Amazon or even creating your first shipment plan over to Amazon. I hope this has added a lot of value to you. Okay, so as a bonus, like promised, I want to introduce to you a very simple hack that you can introduce to your shipping, or should I say your FBA workflow. So this is the traditional workflow, but nowadays, after figuring out on how to sell on Amazon for a few years, we found out that there is an amazing service called SKU Drop that can play the role of the freight forwarder and the 3PL in one place, right? So basically, SKU Drop is a service that helps to settle the logistics. So this is the company here, SKU Drop, and this is my test brand, right, that I have here. So if you want to find out more about SKU Drop's website, just feel free to visit their website. I highly recommend you consider SKU Drop because they really streamline the FBA process for you, right? They are storing the goods in China, and thereby you're paying a quarter of the storage fee as compared to storing it in the US 3PL or even storing your products in Amazon. And they allow you to send weekly shipments. So instead of one big bulk shipment to be sent in your freight forwarder, you can every week just send out accordingly to what you need to sell on Amazon, and thereby you're de-risking yourself from a risk of, let's say that one shipment has a delay or has met a certain mishap. So at least your Amazon business is not destroyed by one incident that is beyond your control. Okay, so this is a amazing service that I can recommend. Just feel free to explore all of these things here. Right, I think they have a few good videos and explanation for how they help you to save money in terms of shipping. All right, so for you guys right here, let me pull out the discount code that we have secured with SKU Drop. Okay, so if you're on SKU Drop website, you will probably see the simple pricing for everyone. It's $10 a month, free receiving fee. This is your storage fee that you can expect to pay, and this is the carton fee that you expect to pay as well. So I got good news for those of you who are interested to try SKU Drop. We are affiliate partners with them, so if you were to use our link and use our promo code, we will get a small commission from them, right? And this is just a very simple way to support them and support us as well. So we thank you and appreciate you. Anyway, you're going to be saving money anyway, right? So I highly recommend you explore this in terms of overall shipping. So this is it, right? So instead of paying $10 a month to software access, using our promo code, you will get free subscription for life. So you're not going to pay $10 upfront. All right, 30% off prep free for the first 6 months, a $500 shipping credit when it comes to sign up with them, a new customer basically, free supply chain audit. So this is the website. Use the code TheFBABros when you sign up for SKU Drop, and you get to enjoy all of these amazing perks. All right, so we thank you so much. We hope that this entire workflow has helped you begin to send your first shipment to Amazon, and really guys, keep crushing it on Amazon FBA. Thank you guys. Feel free to subscribe us for more FBA tips just like this. We would love to show you high advanced level content just to win in your Amazon FBA journey. We are Amazon FBA private label sellers for the past 5 years already, and I think we have experienced our fair share of up and downs in this business as well. And yeah, we are very open to share our failures and our winners with you. All right, thank you guys. Subscribe to us, follow us for more tips just like this, and we'll see you in the next video.